Afternoon, everybody. Been a little later than I planned, but we had some major storms come through the area. I actually was without power for the better part of the day and without internet for a couple days, so I had no way to post here. And, been into some deep thinking, more than usual for an INFJ. And it got me thinking on some other Lilith topics. And this one's very important, particularly for those that may feel drawn to Queen Lilith. Lilith empowers. She does not save. And it's very important to know. Lilith tests you. She pushes you. She wants you to be uncomfortable. You have to prove that you are strong enough to her for her to empower you. And you have to have a legitimate reason of why you want her help, of why you want to be empowered by her. How does it further her cause, her end game? Lilith doesn't play keeping up with the Joneses, so the idea, I'm been processing a very controversial video in my head lately that has to do with Lilith and feminism as it is in the Lilithian sense, and how, real feminists, including many of my sister witches, are getting a bad name from mostly young women who say they're feminists, but they just really want to be trophy wives. Like, their whole existence seems to be about keeping up with the Joneses, and something clicked the other day when I was trying to analyze it, and really what they are is they're wannabe baby boomers. They think, everything they do is by definition the best and perfect. That's not feminism, that's boomerism. But I digressed on that for now. Get back to my topic of Lilith empowering and not saving, So, important things to always remember about Lilith is that she's a rebel, she's a loner. So if you're the kind of person that always goes with the flow, your existence matters on what the group thinks, you want popularity above all else, Lilith may not be the ideal deity for you to try to forge a relationship with. I mean, you can try. She's not that easy to get her attention, male, she'll pretty much come to you if she wants to work with you, in most cases, which are rare. But, in general, if Lilith wants to work with a male, she will seek him out. But she seeks out people that want to overcome, that have been beaten down, that have been wronged, that have put in work and saw no reward, usually due to a corrupt system. Above all else, nobody hates the patriarchy more than Lilith. And patriarchy, Good Ole Boys Club, Old Boys Club, it's essentially the same thing, based on, on sex, yes, but also on my two enemies, nepotism and cronyism, because it's all about, a club and inherited status and inherited jobs, inherited influence. It's not about merit. It's about tradition and prolonging a line. So yeah, that's the biggest thing she does not like. It's important to know that. So if you're like pro Good Ole Boys Club, male or female, chances are, she's got no reason to work with you. You're pretty much her enemy. When you first start forming a relationship with Lilith, you'll go through trials and tribulations. You'll become uncomfortable in your life. You'll face challenge after challenge, and just trying to see if you're going to tap out or if you can overcome and persevere. Because it's not like even if you form a relationship with her and you make a pact, it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, no magic is like, oh yeah, it's done and I don't have to do anything. No, you still have to put in the work. Like, if you're working with Lilith and you're trying to obtain a certain career, you still have to put yourself through the rigors of getting that career, you still have to have the right credentials, be it certifications, educations, fitness level, things of that nature, and keep up with that. It doesn't just magically happen. Lilith will, remove barriers for you that would potentially be in place if you are someone qualified for this position, but you aren't connected, i.e. no nepotism or cronyism for you, that kind of thing. You'll be able to be viewed based on your merit and not just be like, oh, well, oh, wait, but they're not related, or they don't know the right people, that kind of thing. So it's important to keep that in mind, that, witchcraft is work. Like, it's magic, but you have to form bonds with these different deities. You have to open your third eye. You have to be able to get into that meditative state and communicate with them. You have to earn their trust, because really they have no reason to trust you right off the bat. And it really does come down to character too, is who are you as a person up to this point can very much influence on what deity is willing to work with you. So obviously with Lilith, she absolutely hates the patriarchy and anything that diminishes women in any way, and she does not conform to gender, paradigms. She doesn't at all. If you are trying to work with Lilith, regardless of your gender, you have to be open for transformation. She's going to make you more outspoken. She's going to make you want to fight corruption and end like the corrupt status quo. That's her whole existence. That's what she's been against since the day she was exiled, way back in the days of Eden. So if you're just out for yourself, like, oh, I want Lilith to give me wealth, so everybody's like, they wish they were me, and look at all my stuff, and I have all this stuff, and don't you wish you were me? Look at my stuff. No, she's not going to do that. Especially if, you have wealth and influence, and then you decide not to use it to further her cause. Or even worse yet, if you get wealth and influence, and in order to keep enhancing that wealth and influence, you sell out to the Good Ole Boys club and defend them and refuse to speak out against them. She'll take it away. Yeah. So you have to be aware, there is a cost with magic. It's if she's going to help you, if she's going to empower you and potentially give you wealth and status, you have an obligation then to use that to further her cause and to help empower others. You can't just be like, well, I got what I wanted. Look, look at me, look at me, look at me. That's not how it works. You're still going to be an outcast. Lilith is not going to help empower you to get you to be part of the in crowd, to be part of the Good Ole Boys club. She's, like I said, she's a loner. She's an outcast, by choice. So be aware, of what her background is, what her end game is, and what are you bringing to the table to warrant her helping you, specifically you. What is your past? Do you have a history of calling out corruption, of fighting the Good Ole Boys club, of doing the right thing even at your own detriment? Because remember, Lilith could have easily submitted and had a life of luxury in paradise. Instead, she chose to be exiled completely alone in the desert. And, then they tried to drag her back, but she was able to fight off 3 archangels by herself. Pretty badass. Yeah, so be aware of that. Lilith is truly empowered in the sense that she needs no one. She can't be banished because she has no home. She can't be abandoned because she has no family. She's unbreakable. And that's the kind of mindset she's going to push you towards. It's going to be towards self-reliance and not needing somebody to save you, but to give you the ability to pull yourself up and overcome obstacles in your way that you can't overcome based on merit. So if, for example, if you're like a female trying to get into a male-dominated industry, she can help you with that. Or if, you are a male who is not in the Good Ole Boys Club and has actively been fighting the Good Ole Boys Club for 20 years, she can help you overcome those obstacles as well for something that you're legitimately qualified for, but you're not getting your shot because you're not the right person's son or nephew. I'm in that camp. Yeah, so it's very important, to keep all that in mind. Lilith is a goddess for anyone who is marginalized, and that doesn't just mean women, although it mostly means women. It's mostly women. If you are a male in the Lilithan camp, you are a boy in the girls' club. You have to understand that. And it's also important to understand that Lilith is a queen in her own right. She had to walk a very long and very arduous path to become a queen. It was not given to her from birth. That is what a queen really is. She was exiled by herself. She went through transcendence. She became a deity. She had to put a lot of work in, fight a lot of battles to get the power that she has. She wasn't entitled to it from birth. She was entitled to equality, which was stolen from her, which set her on that path. But, being that she is a queen in her own right and self-made, she doesn't really support the idea of, you have the right to be a queen from birth. It's like, no, what have you done? Why are you queen material? What do you want queen level power for, and what are you going to do with it? Just to tell people how great you are and that you're a queen? Nah, I don't think so. That's kind of how it works there. And men, be aware, she doesn't make kings, she makes prince consorts. So it's an important thing to keep in mind if you're going to try to go walk the path of Lilith. And there's extra dangers for men if you betray her. Lilith does not handle betrayal well at all. At all. At all. So, yeah, don't think you can pull one over on her, because you can't. She is a deity. She knows. What she giveth, she can take away. And she's not, going to double cross you. She's not going to pull like a Darth Vader and be like, I'm altering the deal, pray I don't alter it any further. None of that, but you better hold up your end of the bargain. After all, you agreed to do it. Fair is fair. It's a mutual exchange, and she's the one who holds the power. So that's something important to keep in mind with Lilith. If you're seeking empowerment and you're willing to work for it, and you're willing to be tested and be pushed to your limits, by the strongest female deity that there is, and you accept the challenge that it is to be accepted by her and what can become of it, go for it. But if you're just looking for some quick, easy, like, oh, well, you're just going to give me stuff because I'm me, and I'm entitled to it because I'm me, and everything I do is the best because I'm me, and I deserve the best of the best because I'm me. Well, no, that's not empowerment. That's not Lilithan. That's boomerism. That's entitlement. That's Good Ole Boys Club. So, little something I wanted everybody to be aware of for those that may have questions. But seek out the Dark Mother. Maybe she's for you. Maybe she's not. That's between you and her.